Is Slow Horses Season 5 risking its soul for a dose of real-world relevance? Apple TV Plus, heads up. This piece dives into spoilers for Slow Horses Season 5 Episode 1, Bad Dates. If you haven't watched yet, you might want to hit pause and come back later. Picture this. A spy thriller that's equal parts gritty intrigue and hilarious banter, where the real action happens in the shadows of personal grudges rather than global catastrophes. That's the magic of Slow Horses, right? But here's where it gets controversial. Season 5's opening episode flips the script in a way that could alienate longtime fans or excite those craving something more current. Let's unpack why this shift might just be the show's biggest gamble yet, and explore if it's a brilliant evolution or a charm-stripping misstep. For newcomers scratching their heads, Slow Horses is a British espionage series based on Mick Herron's novels, following a team of misfit MI5 agents exiled to a dingy office called Slough House. They're the Slow Horses, the screw-ups of the spy world, led by the brilliant but slovenly Jackson Lamb, played by the incomparable Gary Oldman. What makes the first 4 seasons so addictive? Well, 2 key threads run through them like a well-worn spy novel. First, Lamb's uncanny mix of razor-sharp intelligence and, let's be honest, appalling personal habits. Think unwashed clothes and a desk cluttered with takeaway containers. Second, the recurring clash between the old-school spies, steeped in tradition and instinct, and the flashy new guard embracing tech and bureaucracy. Take Season 1, for instance. It kicks off with River Cartwright, a hot-headed young agent channeling his inner James Bond, clashing with the veterans in ways that feel both thrilling and deeply human. The next 3 seasons build on this, weaving in blasts from the past. Think resurrected Cold War operatives, unresolved vendettas, and cat-and-mouse games against shadowy foes. These plots unfold against backdrops of high-stakes kidnappings and terror plots. But the heart of the show lies in its characters' semi-hostile, often hilarious interactions. And this is the part most people miss. The truly gut-wrenching moments in Slow Horses aren't about saving the nation from doom. They're about personal betrayals, lost loves, and the quiet toll of a life in secrets. That's what elevates it from just another spy flick to something truly memorable. It's the emotional punches that hit hardest, not the explosions. But here's where it gets controversial. The Season 5 premiere, Bad Dates, ditches much of this formula for a whirlwind of contemporary chaos. Instead of delving into the murky world of intelligence villains or ethical dilemmas that simmer slowly, it plunges headfirst into a barrage of modern nightmares. Spree shootings, targeted assassinations, and even a killer fueled by populist rhetoric. Oh, and let's not forget a heated political showdown pitting a conventional politician against a wildcard disruptor type, all crammed into the episode's first half. It's like the show traded its cozy, character-driven vibe for a high-octane newsreel. Now Slow Horses has never shied away from touching on real-world issues. Think terrorism or societal shifts. But this feels like a radical pivot. By sidelining the charming spy antics and quirky team dynamics in favour of tackling a laundry list of socio-political hot topics, it ramps up the tension dramatically. Yet, in doing so, it risks losing the very essence that makes the series shine. Imagine your favourite comfort food suddenly spiked with experimental flavours. It might be exciting, but does it still taste like home? Overt timeliness isn't a good look for Slow Horses. Apple TV Plus. What makes Slow Horses such a standout spy thriller? For starters, it's got a killer ensemble cast, unforgettable characters, and plot twists that keep you guessing without going overboard. But the secret sauce, the element that binds it all together, is its deliberate timelessness. While the real world, and the spy agencies within it, have gone all in on cutting-edge gadgets and digital espionage, Slough House feels like a time capsule. Picture this. Physical file folders instead of encrypted databases. Wardrobes that could have come straight from the mid-20th century, with a few exceptions, like Roddy Ho's flashy style, and Lamb's top-floor lair resembling a grimy noir detective's office from a classic film. The team might foil modern threats or navigate today's complex society, but they're fundamentally out of sync with the present, rooted in an era of analog intrigue. This blend of past and present is what makes Slow Horses the best spy show on streaming platforms like Apple TV+. It's got one foot firmly planted in history, and that vintage charm is irreplaceable. That's why the heavy-handed timeliness in the Season 5 premiere hits like a discordant note. It's as if the episode is shouting, "Look at all these real-world crises unfolding right now! From populist-inspired violence to political power struggles, it's a rapid-fire tour of today's headlines." Sure, the show might weave these threads into a cohesive narrative by the season's end, perhaps with a satisfying, if rumpled, resolution. And let's give credit where it's due. Slow Horses is adapted from Mick Herron's novels, so Season 5 draws from London rules, and you can't fault the series for staying true to its source material. Still, the rush to cram in so many contemporary threats feels forced, pulling the show out of its comfortable temporal limbo and into the spotlight of the here and now. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a bold step forward, embracing relevance in a world obsessed with current events, or a risky dilution of what makes Slow Horses special? Some fans might argue that tackling these issues head-on adds depth and urgency, making the series more than just escapist fun. It could spark real conversations about society. Others, though, might see it as sacrificing the show's unique flavour for trendiness, turning a beloved underdog story into something that feels too much like the evening news. And this is the part most people miss. In a media landscape saturated with timely dramas, Slow Horses thrived by being deliberately out of step. Does chasing relevance mean losing that edge? Slow Horses is streaming on Apple TV+. What do you think, fellow fans? Is Season 5's shift to timely topics a fresh take that elevates the show? Or does it undermine the timeless charm we've come to love? Do you agree that personal stakes trump national ones in spy stories? Or is there room for more real-world parallels? Share your hot takes in the comments. Let's debate whether this is a masterstroke or a misfire.